conference affairs lined up for you today. And we've got time for a quick pregame report. With that being said, let's head to the sideline and our Hall of Famer.
Hey there, Kevin.
You know what? That humble approach goes a long way, David. Thank you. Brent, two stingy defenses tonight. Hard to see how either team is going to put up a lot of points.
These are the kind of games, Kevin, where sometimes you have an offensive breakout from a player that you and I, in doing the elaborate research we do,
yes,
all of a sudden comes up with a 19-point performance where we say out of nowhere, maybe because that defensive team wasn't prepared for that guy stepping up in a big way.
Exactly. Now, Golden State's starting five. Curry and Thompson are the 1 and the 2. Down low, it's Green and Cousins. And it's Durant in at the 3 slot. And a deep 3 from Curry. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
Good shot selection there from Steph, feeling the rhythm and then easily connecting on the pull-up.
Leonard with the bucket.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
From deep three-point range. And out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. And it's the Raptors ball. Lowry passes to Gasol. Here's Siakam. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. And it's Leonard missing. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Leonard with the steal. Siakam kicks to Lowry. Launches it. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah, a bit of a tough start here at 1 for 4.
From deep. It's Durant on the wing. Offline with his 3.
And right now they're like a light switch in the off position. 1 of 5 so far. Not an ideal start. And his touch has just been a little bit absent this quarter, and he's missing a ton of shots.
You know, as dominant as DeMarcus Cousins is, he has a tendency to get in his own way and take himself out of games.
Well, we talk so often about other players in the league taking the offseason to improve some of their weaknesses within their game. I feel like DeMarcus Cousins in the last 3 years has matured immensely and has been much more in control of his emotions and his approach and maybe finding a new home. There have been some strides in DeMarcus Cousins and his demeanor that I think he should be very proud of.
A deep 3 from Durant. The long distance 3 is buried.
Just one smooth, elongated motion. Durant is just a machine and so repeatable on his delivery.
Golden State's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Thompson outside, over Green, and Thompson gets it to go in on the assist by Curry. Thompson's got his first basket.
Klay Thompson takes a ton of pride in the catch-and-shoot game. His release is lightning quick.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. Klay Thompson came into this NBA with a well-earned reputation as a shooter, Brent, but did you ever think he'd become such a potent defender?
Well, I think it's something that he's worked very hard on, and his ability to cross-match. In the early part of his career, you know, Klay Thompson had to take the better scoring of the guards on those nights. It's shifted back, and Klay Thompson is a more well-rounded understanding not only of what he can do defensively, but more of what the opponents that he faces on a nightly basis are trying to do against him.
And Marc Gasol, a force on both ends of the floor. You forget, you know, Greg, that he's won a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, you know, Gasol doesn't really wow you on defense with what he does. I mean, he gets blocks, but it's really his positioning and his rotations are what make him so great. Always involved in plays, and he just seems to be able to protect the rim and a terrific team defender.
Yep, that one goes in there.
The defense just pinballing off of the frame of Kawhi Leonard, determined to score.
Here's Curry. We've got 1:13 left in the first quarter. To the paint. It's picked off. From deep, Gasol. It's rebounded by Curry. Warriors leading by 5. To the right side. And there's another turnover by the Warriors.
Yeah, that's just not a good pass. I don't know what he's thinking there. A poor decision.
And here's Gasol. He'll bring it up for the Raptors. Lowry finds Gasol. That one, no good. Nice D from Cousins. And Curry has it in the corner. And he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
Of course, Kevin Durant, one of the game's greatest scorers of all time, but his ability within this offense to make plays, elevating the team.
And the pass to Curry. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. And here in the first quarter, with a little over 3.5 minutes played, Cousins no good.
Those are the types of looks that you got to finish deep in the paint and limited defensive effort.
Good work there as it goes.
Oh, you see the touch inside from Leonard does a little bit of everything for this basketball team.
On the wing, Thompson. And a great assist by Curry as that one goes in. Thompson's got 5.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
I love his will, his take charge attitude, the aggressiveness, all of that showing up here in the first.
Curry from deep three-point land. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so... The arrival, certainly, of Kevin Durant fortified an already great Warriors team.
Gives us a different dynamic that we can count.
You know, Greg, KD and Steph are a lethal combination for sure. Nearly impossible to guard.
I mean, both former MVPs, and with the talent surrounding them, a chance to make history.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And the Warriors, guys, what jumps out to you in this game, stats-wise?
I mean, through that first quarter, to me, it's all about their D.
There's a lot of ways to build a lead. This one's built on stops.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Durant and Green are the forwards. The tremendous pair of Curry and Clay in the backcourt. And it's Cousins in at the 5, roaming the paint. Brent, I'm sure there were times, and you've won 2 championships where you thought you were going to win a title, and it didn't happen.
I'll go back to the first night that I thought potentially we were going to win a title with San Antonio. And that was in the 2005 finals against Detroit. We had come back home for a Game 6 that I thought we were going to win, and we did not. And sort of the pressure that mounted after that game to know that we were going to a Game 7 and had lost an opportunity where we really did feel coming off a Game 5 we were going to win. It certainly elevated the intensity of the Game 7, which we eventually won at home for our title in 2005.
And the ability to generate points off offensive rebounds, something Ibaka did a lot earlier in his career before he started spending so much time on the perimeter.
Launches it. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got 6 rebounds in the game. And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
Well, last season was just devastating for DeMarcus Cousins, a big man with an Achilles tear, and that's a tougher injury usually for a heavier or taller player, and DeMarcus is both of those. It happened right before the All-Star break. Hated to see it, but happy he's been able to get back on the road to recovery, and hopefully he'll regain his All-Star form.
The Warriors making a switch here. Uredko's checked in. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, well, Marc Gasol is the more fiery of the Gasol brothers. Pau Gasol says, I sugarcoat things a little more than Marc. He's more emotional, more direct. And Marc said, when a mistake happens on defense, I know you're not concentrating. I don't allow that. He knows controlling his frustration is important. He says, I'm working on it. Guys?
Part of leadership, DA. Thank you. And with Cousins and his Achilles, quite often a very lengthy recovery, and you aren't guaranteed, Brent, to be the same afterwards.
No, I think that's the biggest concern, obviously. The one thing that Cousins has, though, is with his size and strength, that if he can get down the floor, he can still dominate from that position. But yes, I'm with you, Kevin. We all are hopeful that Cousins can have the athletic ability and the mobility that he had prior to the injury.
Pass to Durant. Yarebko in the post. Defended by Ibaka. Thompson outside. Just 5 on the clock. Lets the 3 fly. And another 3 for Golden State.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Van Vliet passes to Ibaka. And the rejection by Cousins.
How about Cousins with some gritty defense there, showing off his intimidating length on that rejection.
No good from Durant. Raptors trail by 12. Green kicks to Lynn. Over Thompson. Lynn's shot is off.
Defense has to feel fortunate. Somehow he missed that opportunity, and still, there's no reason for them to give up that kind of open shot.
And that one's good. Durant.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
And there's the 3-second call. This one on the defense. The Raptors shooting their 5th free throw of the game here.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
And so he hits the technical free throw.
A relatively rare trip to the free throw line for Green, averaging just 1 attempt per game over the course of his career.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Marcus All's checked in for Ibaka. Pascal Siakam comes in for OG Anunoby. Kawhi Leonard is checked in for Jeremy Lin. And it's Lowry in for Fred Van Vliet. And Danny Green, a terrific shooter who also, Greg, happens to give you great production on defense.
Yeah, and I have to say, Green's probably alone in history with his shooting and defense. Only player to ever have 6 or more seasons with at least 50 blocks and 73s. You know, it might be arbitrary checkpoints, but nevertheless, it illustrates just what Green brings to the table, a consistent 3-and-D player.
The Raptors making a switch here. Powell's checked in. Different look here for the Warriors. Looney's checked in for Cousins. Jordan Bell comes in for Kevin Durant. Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Steph Curry. Warriors leading by 11. Now here's Iguodala. To the right side. It could go. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Golden State. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, folks. Good to have you back. Ernie Johnson. It was all about Golden State as the game got going. Their sharp focus and apparent preparation for the matchup helped them zero in on an 8-2 run off the tip. They ended up leading by 6 at the end of the first quarter. Then in quarter number 2, they actually... And...
That's why I'm usually an all-star. You never catching me off guard. Why you think I made this sauce song? I'm already cooking them. Soon as I look at them, I'm going to put in this...
The evening commute has plenty of people on the move here tonight in Toronto, where we welcome you back. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
And so far, he's giving them great production from deep. They've been able to kind of spread the floor because of it.
Well, his shooting has fueled the offense, and we'll see if they can get him the ball to see if he can keep it going in the second half.
Kyle Lowry and Danny Green are the guard tandem. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Ibaka, and it's Siakam in at the 4 slot. That's Nick Nurse's 5 as we get into the second half. And there's the call on Durant. That's foul number 2 for him. And here are the Raptors now. 11-point game. Leonard dishes to Lowry.
And Steph getting a little bit nasty on the defensive end there, not letting his man get comfortable on that possession.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Thompson with the bucket. So many modern offenses no longer rely on a point guard to initiate the play. Tell us a little bit more. Walk us through that process.
I think a lot of teams, Kevin, are getting more towards motion offenses, almost playing in a secondary break where you've either coming off a score, you're coming down the floor, the point guard gets off the ball, and with all the players moving around and with the multifaceted skill set of your small forward and your power forward who's now playing at the point, distributing the ball, setting screens, DHO. Because of that skill set, you don't really have the heavy reliance on point guard domination with the basketball, setting up every play, and being the only playmaker on the floor. Now you have 3 and sometimes 4 getting that job done.
Outside for Curry. Fires from deep. No good. Shot missing. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Here's Leonard. And he slams it down right on top of Kevin Durant.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
And that last replay, courtesy of the Under Armour Hover Havoc, unleashing a little bit of chaos.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Right side, Green, stolen by Thompson. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Ring shot on the way, and too long on the shot. Raptors trail by 14. Toronto working the ball around now. And here's Leonard from 3. It fails to fall. Now shooting just a little better than 50%, 5 for 9.
Now, last season's championship round, the 4th straight time that the Warriors faced off with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's the first time in North American sporting history that has ever happened in the major 4 sports. And once again, the Golden State Warriors brought the trophy back to the Bay Area.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. Right next to the 1975 banner, the Warriors unfurling yet another championship banner. And when you look at the journey for this franchise, Brent, what comes to mind?
Well, I think about how many things for them just lined up perfectly, Kevin. The general manager being from the Bay Area, being in tune with what goes on in the city, and then the timing of the decision for Steve Kerr to be choosing between joining the New York Knicks and him choosing not the East Coast, but the West Coast to build this empire. It's been pretty remarkable ever since those decisions were made, what the Warriors have built around the NBA game with those 2 guys in place.
Here's what Toronto's going with right now. Marcus All's checked in for Ibaka. And it's Powell in for Danny Green. Back to Livingston. Puts up a 3. The shot comes out. Now Toronto takes it the other way. Here's Leonard. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Leonard's got it back down to single digits for the Raptors.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And it's Norman Powell with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Pass to Green. And Green slams it in.
Good anticipation there from Iguodala, who is a very good passer.
There's a minute left in the 3rd quarter of the game. And it's Lowry with the ball. Brings it up for the Toronto Raptors. It's Gasol missing. Iguodala deciding where to go with it. Outside, Green. Livingston finds Green. 6 on the shot clock. Got a hand on it. Here's Looney. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Raptors trail by 11. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks.
And extending the D there, putting a lot of pressure on the shooter.
Yeah, I think coaches right here are always talking about the extra pass. And a contested 3 is not your objective. One more, maybe.
And that one misses.
Andre Iguodala about as reliable as it gets. Steve Kerr calls him the adult in the room.
So neither attempt will fall that time frame. The Raptors have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half.
Yeah, defense timed that out perfectly. Love the aggressiveness, and then they changed the shot's direction.
Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Yeah, I mean, it's an opportunity to kind of regroup and discuss ways to maximize these possessions.
And therein lies the trick, discussing ways to be aggressive, but not committing turnovers.
Both teams will make substitutions. Warriors leading by 11. Jerebko with it. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. In the corner, Iguodala with it. They get it back. Looney. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul. It's called on Toronto. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
And he makes the first but misses the second. And so it's the Golden State Warriors up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Things have been clicking offensively, defensively, you name it. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter form.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. On the court for Golden State here in the fourth. Bell is out there with Yarebko, and there's Livingston, and there's Iguodala. And it's Looney in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Gasol, and he banks in the layup.
And he knows how to make good use of his size in that low block. And Gasol's inside game is very refined. There's a smoothness to how he approaches it.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Lynn the pass to Gasol. Back to Lynn. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way.
Just wonderful form on the J from Lynn, dropping it in the face of the D.
Pass to Bell. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Clock at 6. Looney kicks to Iguodala. Shoots over Lynn. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
Wow, credit there. Somehow finds a way to knock that one in.
Warriors leading by 12. It's Bell on the wing. Down low. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. They get Marc Gasol.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys. Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Anunoby. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Norman Powell. Danny Green, he's checked in for Jeremy Lin. And it's Lowry in for Fred VanVleet.
Just testing out the cannon on that misfire.
Yeah, we've seen him make this shot work, but they can do better.
On the pass to Curry, beyond the arc. The basket good off the assist from Durant. 14 points for Steph Curry.
This is why Steph Curry is virtually unguardable. When he's sinking those kind of shots, it just devastates you defensively.
Here's Ibaka, lays it up off the glass.
This is where you got to put a body on the guy. His will is incredible down on the interior, fighting and clawing for every rebound.
And there's the foul. It goes on Serge Ibaka. That's his first foul. Siakam is checked in for Marc Gasol. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for Golden State. Curry. Kept alive. Looney kicks to Curry. Tries again. That one off the back iron and out. Raptors trail by 15.
And tonight's battle is going to end with a very clear winner, leaving nothing to chance. Impressive win for the Warriors.
The sheer volume of three-pointers was the deciding factor tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, they sink one and then do it again, and that strategy did work.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Steph Curry.
Just a really solid effort on the offensive end. He was getting any shot that he wanted.
Marc Gasol's checked in for Serge Ibaka. Durant dishes to Curry. And the three ball is good. Curry's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Warriors.
Is it getting dark in here? Because if not, it's time to turn the lights out.
It's true. We've officially entered garbage time with some fans starting to hit the exits.
Here's Leonard. The Warriors pull it in.
Like the tactics on defense there, refusing to give the shooter the easy layup at the rim.
It's stolen by Green. And now running up the court, Leonard pushing it up. First one falls for him.
And with Kawhi Leonard, he just does everything well on the floor. Offense, defense, rebounding, runs the floor. I mean, he is one of the more complete players in our league. He can completely take over a game on both ends.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Anunoby, he's checked in for Siakam. Jeremy Lin comes in for Green. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. And the shot goes in.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip. You could see the focus. They're ready to do battle.
And so it's Golden State with it. The lead is 15. Leonard with no one around. The long distance three is buried.
Now what a game by Leonard, but you wouldn't know it by the way he's reacting out there. Just stone-faced, but getting the job done.
And Durant gets it to go.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. And here's Leonard from three. Another miss by Leonard. Leonard with the steal. Count it.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. And in the win, a comfortable